Hi, and welcome to another episode of Face Off. I am Philip from GoBros. And if you didn't catch our last episode, what we're doing is we're taking a look at some cross-play games from the perspective of the Oculus Go user and the Oculus Quest user. Yes, but this time I'm going to run the show because you seemed to hog it a lot last time. Fine, let's get started. One thing right away jumping in, you see this is by Zen Studios, and they have pinball games like over no matter what device you carry, even if you're still carrying a Tamagotchi, you could probably get pinball on it. This is a very, very nice room. On the go, you got a nice couch, although I think I feel like I am about half my normal real world height. Turn my music down a little bit so I'm not shouting. But the views are beautiful. Like this feels on the go in comparison to like Oculus rooms. This almost feels very Rift-esque. It's got like a Rift feel to it. Even though I've never worn a Rift, just from videos on the Rift. I see a lot of extra stuff around. What about you, Philip, on the Quest? What do you got going on over there? I can agree with that. Kind of a Rift view. The scenery is amazing. The quality is amazing. I'm curious, what about 6 Degrees of Freedom? Even right here at this first part, can you walk around a little bit? Yeah, I can walk as far as my guardian will let me go. What about your scale? Is your scale like what I mentioned, where my couch is it seems like I'm a little short. Yeah, the couch, I do seem like I'm a little low, like maybe my knees are in the floor. All right, well, some other things we see is we see some pinball games around, but let's go ahead and press trigger to continue. And all of a sudden I leave the couch area. Now on the go, I look around, and I can now see the rest of the room. It's interesting that it puts you like in the back of the room. I imagine that if you owned more games, they would be around the room somewhere. Maybe look more impressive if having more than just 3. But I can go, looks like straight to the games. I can switch. Oh, shoot. Okay, so if you misclick, apparently you can't buy a new table. Apparently you only get 3 slots. Well, that's kind of frustrating. Why give you only 3 slots visible at once? I think one thing that people would love would be to see all the game tables that they own. So that's kind of lame. What about on the Quest, Philip? Does it let you have more than 3 slots? No, it looks like just the 3. I mean, you can kind of see there's those towers with lights that would shine down on them. All right. Well, let's check out the dashboard down here. I feel like I'm a little off-centered already. I'm going to try to recenter here. So it looks like there's 12 different games you can buy. Looks like we only got 3 slots. You can change your controls. View mode. Huh. I didn't notice that do anything. I like standing. What did I just do? What do I do now? Oh, well, let me purchase that pack, but I'm not going to do that right now. One thing I wish that Zen did is they already have other games and other things. Like on my Apple TV on iOS, I have the, how do I get out of here? I guess I can go back. I already have the, we have Family Guy, American Dad, Bob's Burgers, all the Fox cartoon shows on there. I wish that they would have just ported something that they already had, because I love those games. I don't really care about any of these. I would have loved for them to port those over. And again, I've been toying around with development a little bit, and I wouldn't think that that would be too difficult. I mean, they already had the 3D graphics that they had created. I'm sure they probably made it in Unity or Unreal, so they already had that file. All they would have had to have done was scale it for this environment. But, you know, that's just me being picky and wishing for things. They probably had a completely different team working on this. But let's go check one of these out. Oh, there we go. Okay, there's other rooms. You just got to point your laser at them. I didn't realize that. So there's an achievement
no laser
section.
on the Quest. No laser on the Quest.
There we go. You can't actually click the medals. You have to click the achievements. All right. Oh, and you can swipe and you can see all the achievements for the things you unlocked. Okay, we can go over to leaderboards. Interesting, interesting. So, Philip, just out of curiosity, who do you see on the leaderboards right now? Azizel, myself, that's it. Now, our account is the same, obviously, Mr. Philip Joel. I see us up there. I see Azizel up there as well, but I also see Impor, which if you've watched any of our videos before, you see me play with Impor in a lot of different videos and on my Twitch stream. I know he doesn't have a quest, so Philip, it's interesting you don't see it on your leaderboard, that the scores from Go users aren't appearing on the quest. That's very interesting to me. All right, let's play Epic Quest over here. I don't even know if I've played this one. All right, I think it's weird that whenever you click on things, it keeps you facing the same direction and moves you that way rather than just putting you right in front of it. But hey, whatever. So on the Go, and the graphics are amazing. On the Go, obviously, if you get closer to the game, nothing happens. What about you, Philip? I'm on the floor now. You can look underneath it.
Right, you'd expect
you
that.
can get low and look in. I mean, you could
walk.
Okay, now that does
even.
sound pretty cool.
Look at that.
While I'm looking at you, I'm also actually looking out the windows here, and I love the water effect. Really cool. I'm digging that. I don't know if it looks different depending on which game you're at. Oh, gosh, that surprised me. But I love the water effect outside. So I imagine most people who are really into pinball would probably want to use a gamepad for this, but the Go controller works just fine. What I do to trick myself is I rotate my controller a little bit because the right trigger is the right, the trigger is the right stick, and then the thumb pad is the left. So if you're left-handed, you can just rotate it the other way. But I'm pretty sure I pull the trigger to get my ball ready. No? Touchpad? Swipe down? Holding down the touchpad, releasing. All right, see there's left, there's right. So Philip, if you want on the quest, I don't think I really have much more to say about the Go. I don't see a way of shaking the table, which most games have that ability. Interesting, I just hit the back button and I got a menu up here. Look at the controls. Ball nudge table is to swipe. Okay. Now how do I get back? How do I get back to the game? I gotta go, oh, okay. Resume game. Resume game. Jeez. Oh, good. I love that there's a countdown. That's nice. Okay, there's the swipe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I think that's it for me looking at this table. Philip, why don't you go and talk about the quest while I keep playing? Sure. So you mentioned the menu button. On this, I just took a guess, and it's the left controller Oculus button brings up the menu. But yeah, 6 degrees of freedom. You get something that in real life you don't go up and examine things. In VR, it's kind of fun to be like, oh look, I can walk around this table. And this is where multiplayer would be cool because I could stand here, see my buddy playing, and we could still kind of look at each other and talk if there was a multiplayer functionality. And you all know from Go Bros that Luke and I love multiplayer, and that's what would make me play this. It would be multiplayer, being able to stand there and watch my buddy. From my memory of playing on the Go, this is much higher quality, just like Quest always is. Just the contrast, the blacks are blacker and whatnot. I know hand tracking is still in demo, but I wish I could see my controllers or hand placements for my controllers, because I feel like I should be able to come up and pull this thing with my controller, but I don't even see my controllers in game, which I think is really weird for a 6-DoF game. Triggers or grip will do the paddles. It's nice that on the Quest you already have 2 controllers, so you don't need to play with a gamepad. I could see, especially if this had hand tracking, this would be really fun to actually have your hands on the side. So like press the start button, press the paddles on the side. I don't see, other than just as a gimmick, 6DoF really making much of a difference. Because I don't know, would I play like this? I mean, it lets you have a different angle in the game, I guess. I mean, that's kind of cool. But you wouldn't do this in real life, and of course you'd have like a glass screen. All right, I think that's enough for me. How about we take off the headsets and talk about this? I guess. Oh, wait. While Phil's taking his headset off, I want to show you the most annoying thing about the Quest version. One, that's pretty funny. One, there's no lasers, so you have to quickly learn that you have to look at something to select it. That's a little weird. I still wish I could see my hands. I think that's pretty weird for... Watch where you're pointing that sword. For Quest. This is the most annoying thing ever. Hate that. That exit door opening and closing, that's really annoying. Alright, so we have our headsets off now. And Philip, I don't know about you, but I'm not huge into pinball. I've spent very little time playing real pinball games. Probably the most experience I've had on a pinball game was in a town I lived in Kansas. Our skating rink had a pinball game. And it was the cheapest little arcade game they have, so that would be the one I played. Took less amount of quarters. I don't know about you. So, not a lot of pinball experience. Probably my favorite pinball game ever was Sonic Spinball on the Sega Genesis. What I loved about that game is it wasn't just a pinball game. It was a pinball feel, but you're still like moving around the world trying to accomplish a task. So pinball kind of bores me a little bit unless I have someone to play with, someone to kind of challenge. That's what I liked about Zen, the same company, the pinball games they have on iOS and on the Apple TV. My wife and I would play, and we'd pass the controller, and we'd do two-player mode, and we'd see who could beat who. After a while, we quit doing that because she spanked my butt. She kicked my butt so hard in pinball. She's amazing compared to me. But because of that, Philip, I don't play on my headset because if I'm going to play pinball, I'm going to play two-player with my wife on the Apple TV because we can see each other, we can talk. Now, if this had a multiplayer ability to where we could be in the same room and stand and watch the other person play, now that would be cool. Because, one, that gives you a reason for VR, and two, for you on your Quest, I imagine that would be kind of a cool way for 6DoF because you could still kind of like walk around and probably look down based on what you told me at the thing. But as far as the Oculus goes, if you love pinball, you're going to love this game because it's very, very immersive. Now, I don't know if you lose anything with 3DoF. Philip will talk about his 6DoF experience. I don't think you lose anything with 3DoF. Gamepad, I mean, you're probably going to want to be able to, especially if you want to sit and play. I imagine a lot of people would enjoy doing that, although if you want it close to real life, you're standing. But I've heard of other people who have built cabinets out of a Bluetooth controller so that when they're wearing their headset, they can still be feeling like they're at the arcade unit. But in 3DoF, this is amazing. The graphics are amazing. Personally, I don't see why I would upgrade to 6DoF. Who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind after I watch this episode and see what you're seeing on your end. But I doubt it. All right, Philip, what do you say about the Oculus Quest? What's the play like on there? Well, you mentioned the people who built the Bluetooth box. In 6DoF, that'd be kind of nice because you could still kind of lean on it, and it would really give you that immersive experience. If you love pinball, you probably already have this game. And of course, everything looks better on the Quest. But at the same time, I have both devices, right? And there's still games like Colonical, my all-time favorite game, is now on the Quest via SideQuest, and it looks amazing in the Quest. But because the Quest needs to have Guardian set up, you need to get your two controllers on, you have to have light in the room. It's more of a setup. Whereas versus on the go, it's just boom, one on, and I'm playing with the controller. So if I wanted to play some pinball, I don't want it to set up Guardian and worry about 6DoF. I just want to play pinball. So I would probably opt to play this on the go versus playing it on the Quest for me. If there was multiplayer and I could walk around the cabinet and talk and stuff while my buddy was playing, then I would prefer it on the Quest. But if you're a Go user, I don't think this is a reason to upgrade to the Quest. If you were thinking about upgrading to the Quest, just for the higher quality of the graphics, just because of the contrast, the deeper blacks. Still tons of fun on the Go. I don't see much of an increase in fun on the Quest. And those doors opening and closing, super annoying on the exit. And also, let me see the controllers or some fake hands or something. Thank you. Back to you, Philip. All right, there you have it. Zen Studios VR Pinball. I know that's not really the name of the game, but I can't remember what it's called. But get it now on the Oculus Go, on the Oculus Quest. Keep in mind, when you buy the game, you're not unlocking all the units. You're unlocking just the 3 you kind of saw in our little lobby area there. Really hope you enjoyed this episode of Face Off. Tune in next time where, I don't know, we got like 10 more episodes of Face Off. But hopefully before the next episode of Face Off, we'll have some other content for you as well. Please, please, please don't forget to subscribe. Those subscribers help us out a bunch. Until next time, I'm Philip from Go Bros, and see you out there.